What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk with my post-fight reaction thoughts on what we just witnessed. Man, this shit was funny as fuck. I just made a Facebook post saying that those exact words. Um, you know, the circus, whatever you want to call it. It was funny as hell. Got to give props to Conor McGregor. He was better than what I thought he was going to be. I didn't think he would, win as many rounds as he did. He came out very awkward. I think he has a 74-inch reach advantage, and he, was the guy with the longest reach Floyd has ever fought in his career. And he was taller than Floyd. I think Conor is 5'10", Floyd is 5'8". Early on, we know Conor's a southpaw. He came out there, has a solid jab. I mean, for a guy that's not really, specializes in boxing, is a pretty good jab. The straight left hand was pretty good. He caught him with an uppercut, a nice counter uppercut, slipped a couple shots. He was able to do something very rare that I haven't seen. Was punch while switching, from southpaw to orthodox. He's very quick. When he switched from one stance to the other, Floyd looked every bit of 40 years old, and you can kind of say, maybe he was playing possum and allowing Conor to, blow his low early in the fight, which he said in the post-fight interview with Jim Gray, saying that was his strategy. It wasn't that he Father Time caught up with him, or he's not the same fighter, even though he knows in his heart he's not the same fighter. But, round 4 on, he kind of just took over. Even though it was still close, Conor had his moments. Floyd was landing that straight right hand at will. He would throw an occasional left hook. His jab was very good at times, but he didn't. He abandoned everything that we are, accustomed to seeing from Floyd. He didn't cut off the ring. He wasn't doing too much of the shoulder roll. He had his hands up, covering his face, and he was just plowing ahead. Obviously, because he didn't respect Conor as a boxer, but Conor, had to make him respect him. His angles was giving him problems early on, but Floyd eventually, found a home for that right hand, the left hook, and Conor, as we all knew, he gassed, even though he wasn't badly hurt. In the 10th round, when referee Robert Byrd jumped in and saved him from taking any more unnecessary punishment, it was a good stoppage in my opinion. Like I said, the shit was funny because it seemed like Conor was going to get disqualified because he was doing those hammer fists that you see UFC fighters do in the octagon. And, that shit is illegal. But Floyd was doing some funny shit, and he was out of character. But it was real, but it wasn't at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a theatrics, the WWE style. He carried them. If you're familiar with watching wrestling, normally a guy who is more talented or naturally better wrestler carries a guy who is a bigger name, or something like that, is not on par skill wise, and makes for a fantastic match. And this is kind of how this fight played out. It was very interesting. It wasn't boring by any means. It was kind of dramatic. I thought for a second, like I was saying earlier, that Conor was going to get himself disqualified after a good start with the hammer fist, but Robert Byrd, wasn't quick to, do something that would have kind of even made this fight look more of a joke than it already was. And Floyd was out of character, just bending over with his head, exposed, kind of had his head, in a crouching position. And, they were arguing, but, Al Bernstein and Paulie Malignaggi and the other guy, was saying, well, Paulie was saying, well, Conor is, sidestepping and turning Floyd and doing that. And the other guy, and Bernstein was like, nah, Floyd is kind of, just doing that. Which, he was, that was odd. What else, man? It was, like I said, it was a solid fight for what it was. But Floyd is the better man, better boxer. He did guarantee that the fight would get stopped or it wouldn't go to distance. And, at first, or as the fight went on, I was looking like, well, Floyd, you're going to have to explain yourself. I know you're not a big puncher, and maybe that's why it took him a while to go for the knockout or whatever, or get it. But if this fight would have went the distance, it would have been a bad look for you. Even though you're not a big puncher, you have a superior or super inferior boxer in front of you, and you let him go to distance. Whether this is planned or not, you're supposed to get him out, and thankfully he did. Like I said, man, it is what it is. The fight is over. Now we can move on to the real fights. Canelo, Golovkin. In 3 weeks, we got the flyweight or super flyweight card. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez in a rematch with a guy I can't pronounce. You got the opponent he fought facing his opponent. It's just there's a lot going on, man. A lot of quality fights coming up. Got some heavyweights gonna be in action. Wilder back. Hopefully the Ortiz fight get finalized. Joshua's due back. Maybe he fight Ortiz. So there's a lot that's going on in boxing, man. So we passed this fight. Floyd is officially retired, he said. He's 50-0. Ties Rocky Marciano's record. Or breaks the record, I believe. And, it is what it is, man. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Turn those notifications on to get notified every time I upload content. Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Head over to Facebook, smack that like button on the Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.